Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today, we're going to go beyond the hardware, turning inspection data into action. And BL Innovare is the technology that drives engagement, not just efficiency. Ted, we have an exciting panel today.
Sarah, we do. Thank you so much. I want to welcome back Carol Kilner, who's the CEO of BL Innovare, one of the leaders in our industry in inspections. Carol, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted, sir. Excited to be here again with you today.
Carol, excited to have you. And, technology has become the foundation of fixed operations. I would never have thought this some years ago, but it's actually making fixed ops exciting again. So thank you and congratulations to all the success that BL Innovare is having.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, if I can ask to start, Carol, how do you see technology laying the foundation for better fixed operations at the retail level?
I think technology is just a foundational tool. It lays that foundation for operational efficiencies. And, I think tech is great at doing those mundane tasks, repeatable things that humans don't have to do and humans might often forget to do or not quite do the job that we need them to do. So I think that having that technology to drive that operational efficiency is really what we need going forward.
And Carol, there's been a lot that BL Innovare has been up to. And so I'd love to get your perspective. What's new since last time that we talked, and what's next?
So what's new? We actually just this past month crossed over 20 million vehicle inspections, and you're looking right now at one of our innovative products. We released it back in 2021, so it's our classic system that's been working well for many dealerships, and this is what's driving a lot of these inspections, and it's where a lot of people just get started with that basic tech. We've been working on some enhancements to that, and one of our focuses is developing these tools that are modular in approach, because you may have a vision of where you want to go, but that vision has to match the budget. So you may not be able to get all of the tech in the lane at day one, but you want tech that's going to kind of grow with you as the dealership grows. And what we've done here is we've focused on a very modular approach you can add to the technology.
Good looking modular, if I may add, Carol. This is really a step up in appearance for anybody's service lane.
Absolutely, and we want it needs to look good. They spend a lot of money putting in the service lane, giving the customers experience. You want the product to match that. And so we've taken this modular approach. Just recently, we released the Bodyguard Plus, which has that exact same footprint as the Fastline Plus, but this is for the dealerships looking only at that premium imaging type aspects. Our Fastline product, as you know, is an engagement tool. It really drives that additional level of engagement. But this is designed as a premium imaging product to capture all of the angles as it's going in the dealership. And one of the things that we've added to this is also the software ability to automatically identify the damages as it's going through the dealership. So we focus not only on the hardware, but also big focus on that software side of things. So what you're looking at here is the Bodyguard system with some enhanced overhead side lightings. We have a full tunnel solution where you can also add the overhead lighting for those dealerships that want to have the 360 scanning, but you don't have to start there. You can just start with the basic system and then grow as the needs evolve or as the budget becomes available to enhance that technology.
Yep, makes sense. Look at that. And there it is. There's the two additional cameras at the top with the overhead modules.
Yeah. So again, you don't have to start with all of that. You can start with the basic tech in the lane and let that technology grow as the dealership has use case for it.
Very nice. And again, very good looking as well.
Yeah, and this is something that warms my heart when you see in that top right there. You actually see countries putting in tunnels where they're locked by land. They can't add on to their building. So they actually took a part of the parking lot, built in the tunnel, and that's where they're putting the inspection equipment there. So I love to see how they're engaging with that, with the technology. And we even have we even have customers that have engaged in that have competitive products already, and obviously they're not going to throw out their investment, and we don't want them to, but they can add the bodyguard imaging products alongside their other equipment there. So it's it's exciting to see how many different configurations we have, and not shown there is we have actually several customers that are early adopters of our product back in 2015-16 that are still using the technology today. We've upgraded them to the latest software, and they've added a bodyguard for the imaging capabilities. But I think ultimately you want the technology that's going to grow with the organization. You don't want 2-3 years you have to throw out that technology because there's something else that's come along to replace it. So I think it's all about being able to build on that foundation.
Carol, let's talk a little bit about turning that technology into a value engine. If you don't mind, what's an example of where your system has changed how a dealership operates?
Sure, I love to share this story where there's the real human impact. We had a customer where one of their workshop folks had an unfortunate accident that prevented them from doing the stuff that they would do in the workshop. So instead of sending him home to do nothing, they moved him up to the front, had him work with the DMS, had him work with the inspection lane um, results, and present and educate those to the customer. And this particular customer had a big investment in, they bought ADAS equipment, they had a high-end alignment rack, and they had their fast line system. And they had this one champion because that was now his job. He couldn't do what he was doing before. He became their champion of this, and they had an ROI in 9 months on all of that equipment just by having that one person being totally engaged. And I know that's a unique use case, but I think at the end of the day, having that tech in the lane, it looks great. The customers are coming in and they can see that you are recording the cars, you're measuring some data points, you're being able to add value to that. So just having that tech there and then freeing up your service advisors or your porters to not have to run around the car and do all that things that our technology can quite frankly do better.
Carol, you touched on the ROI element, and a lot of dealers are also thinking about how this might look for their organizations, and they're thinking about all the different pieces with CSI, and then of course that customer engagement and how this looks. From your perspective, what are you seeing across your installations in terms of measurable results?
I think for us, I mean, it happens all the time, is for engaged customers, you see 6 to 9 months ROI easily on this technology. But really, to see these results, it's all about the right tech, the right place, the right engagement. That's really what's key. I would rather not sell you a product if you're not going to use it. If you're not going to be engaged in selling alignment services, then don't buy the Fastline product. Maybe the Bodyguard product. It can give you that return on investment much quicker, and you're not going to have that buyer's remorse. So it's really about that right tech, right place, right time. And for us as BL Innovare, we focus on CSI, but not in the same way the dealerships do. We focus on the dealerships CSI. We want them, they're our customers. We need them to be happy with this tech. And we can only do that by really focusing on their customer experience so that they can deliver to their end customers. And I think, we've really taken this to heart in our software UI, UX. We've never really shown anything here on the panel before, but you'll see this dashboard. It kind of replaces that whiteboard. It gives you
Hmm.
very quickly, you have 3 columns of data. I can see
Wow.
how I'm doing today, this week, this month. I can see the traffic coming into the lane. I can see what the average traffic looks like on a Tuesday. I can see how many inspections we've done and how many opportunities that we've had to upsell a service. And then thirdly, on the last column, you can see what people are actually using the system and engaging, or who do I need to go have a conversation with about why they're not using that technology. So I think here, one of the things we do is we spend a lot of time on making sure the dealerships have that information they need in an easy presented format. Everybody's busy and there's information overload. So how do we make the complex simple? And I think we've really done that. And we've heard this from our customers when they pull up the two screens they have in the dealership working on service orders, and they're like, wow, I wish all our screens looked like this or presented data in this manner.
And Carol, you have everything, what I'm noticing, in one place, one screen. You're listing everything. So, like you said, we're busy in the dealership, but for leadership to be able to go and access this information, this speaks volumes.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the first screen they see when they sign on. Your service advisors have their own screen. When they sign on, they see exactly what vehicles have came in and what they can present to the customer. So it's really important that we deliver the right technology and the right software experiences to the dealership that makes it easy for them to do their job.
And Carol, the big buzzword that Sarah and I are experiencing right now is efficiencies. Efficiency in fixed operations, making the best use of the customer's time, the best use of my people's time. And you're so right. The technology is there now. BL Innovare has that to be able to help my people be more efficient and engaging the customer and talking about their needs. And you're right. We're able to get a more accurate um, evaluation, if you will, of the customer's vehicle by using technology.
And I think one of the things when you asked about what we're working on and what's new, one of the things that's really come to the forefront is this collaboration, because you have a lot of different technologies in the dealership, but we need to have the data in one place. It needs to be connected. So we've been working a lot with partners, the DMS, the CRMs, and other technology providers to see how we can have synergies so that we can present this information in a more unified fashion.
Carol, if I can follow up on that last slide with the dashboard, what separates dealers who see ROI or strong ROI from those who don't? In your opinion, you've worked with thousands of dealers now all over the world. What are you seeing out there?
I think that the dealers that recognize the what this information can provide and how it can change the narrative for their customers, even it's not even about the selling; it's about having that data to be a talking point. I think is what makes it successful. So if they recognize the value in that, then they're going to it's going to show with their people, and they're going to demand the engagement from their people. Because quite frankly, if you're not, they're probably going to be off doing something different rather than engaging the customer or having those conversations that might improve the experience and lead to additional sales opportunities.
And Carol, how are customers responding to this type of technology? Seeing it in use, with their own vehicles at the dealership.
I, I think the customers, and I mean, I speak for myself as a customer as well. I love it when I get a report that shows me, what's been inspected, and with our systems, they can share images. So if there's ever any question, you can send a link and say, "Hey, we've recorded the condition of your vehicle, or we identified a few different dents here," or maybe you share the inspection report with them. But I think customers like data, and then they can choose to act on the data now, today, or maybe on their next visit they will choose. So I think having that data in an easy, presentable format for the customer as well is key.
Sarah, I see this as really helping the perception of the dealer as being modern and modernizing the entire service process up front with the customer and being transparent, obviously.
It's so true, Ted. I mean, this is not only creating engagement, it's like you said, creating the efficiency in this process for the technicians and for that customer experience. And Carol, it really is that trust that helps, this system
Mhm.
really pay for itself. So, if a dealership hasn't modernized yet, where's the easiest place to start?
I think the big thing here is that we develop technology for every budget and every lane. The entry level system, the Bodyguard Classic I showed you there, anyone who is experiencing spending $500 a month on claims or labor and documenting, it's a no brainer. Like $500 a month, that's nothing, and that technology pays for itself.
Wow.
We have, the Fastline Evo Plus that we've talked about, and that's a one box engagement tool. It gives you alignment results as well as vehicle imaging. And we have the Bodyguard Plus that we just talked about that's strictly around uh, the vehicle imaging. So we have a product that sort of fits every budget and in every lane, and also allows it to be modular. So you can add to it. You don't have to spend a significant capital investment to just get started.
And Carol, up until now, the perception of some of this technology, not just a perception, but reality has been that it has priced some dealers, out of the market. Now you just made it very clear, that you've got options for dealers to be able to engage customers with this technology. So, Carol, I imagine people watching are going to have questions. How will this work for me with my circumstance and my dealership, with my franchise? I imagine you custom tailor this, depending on their needs.
Absolutely. And I think first and foremost, BL Innovare is a product development company. 75% of my staff is involved in designing, building, supporting the product. We don't have a huge sales team. We don't have, you don't see us shouting on social media there. We're really focused on developing the product. Even our global product manager, he's a product guy. He's an engineer by heart. So we're always looking to quietly develop these products that can help basically solve a problem at the right price point. I mean, we've always said you can't solve a $10,000 problem with a $100,000 solution. So I think we're really, really mindful of that as a company.
So, Carol, if our audience wants to reach out with those questions and learn more about BL Innovare and what you can do for them, what's the best place? How do they take the next step? How do they get in touch?
Oh, there's so many ways to get involved with us. I mean, we've got our website down there. I've got my email down there. Maybe we have phone number. You can reach out to us, and we'd love to chat and figure out what's the right tech, because I do not want a dealership getting into the wrong tech.
Dealers are making the plans right now for 2024, Sarah, and this 2026, pardon me. And, this is on the radar for a lot of dealers.
It is, Ted and Carol. It's incredible to see the innovation and the thoughtfulness that BL Innovare puts into its products, and again, the different options that are available for dealers.
Thank you. We look forward to hearing from you, and we definitely have the right technology out there. Let us help you figure out what's next.
BL Innovare, everybody, on the web, blinnovare.com. Carol, on behalf of Sarah and myself, we want to wish you, your family, and the BL Innovare family at the end of next week, a happy Thanksgiving here in the U.S. And thank you for all you do for the industry.
Thank you.
Everybody, Carol Kilner with BL Innovare here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.